So, hello class, this is the last section, which is section 15. We'll be discussing information security success factors. These are the objectives, which is to define the importance of innovation with respect to technology, explain continuous testing, describe audits regular and publish, explain integrated compliance framework, and explain the compliance with IT standard. These are the subtopics I will be discussing in this in this sections. So organization have to define threats and vulnerabilities to their information resources to ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information, which form the CIA triad of information security. Here we are talking about organization, how to let know these are the threats we have, these are the vulnerability we have to all our what resources, all our information assets, all our assets, our network infrastructure, the software, and the rest. So you have to define it, those threats and the vulnerability, so that we will be able to cope all this to be able to ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability of such assets or information or data. And then information security is a series of steps taken to protect information and information system, which also encompasses the infrastructure that is used, which include hardware, software, threats, physical and human factors, each of which possesses their own characteristic property. Those are the words. Here we are talking about where it will be identified. Every word threat, the all the assets that need to be protected, and the threats and all the packages like all the infrastructure of the organization, either the hardware, the software, all those threats that leverage on the human factor, internal, external, physicals, and all those threats, and all the property and assets of the organization. This is where they take a step to protect all these and the information system of the organization. And then the innovation in technology. A successful innovation can be various outcomes depending on the manager's organization procedures, the culture around it, the personality behind it, reward, the reward and compensation system in the organization. So, with some knowledge about innovation and its challenges, it is time to focus on how organizations strive for continuous information security issues. Now, and then we also have the framework that is followed to implement, maintain, and monitor should be consistent with organization cultures. And then information security has to be linked with information system strategy, as most information is stored on IT system. So continuous testing. Here, continuous testing is one of the critical components of the what process or for a successful information system strategy. How to continuous checking, analyzing, assessing, which means assessment of all our what components, all our hardware, software, and the rest, the organization infrastructures, which also includes periodic penetration testing, which you have to be what testing the security, how secure it is, and then the important aspect of for a test environment to work successfully as follow. Number one, efficient resources management. You need to manage your resources very well. And number two, strategic planning, which including robust program governance. You have to have a good and robust governance program. It has to be strategic planning. You have to be strategically planned. Also have number three, which is process optimization and operation excellence. We have to optimize our process, our business processes, tax processes, and the operation has to be excellent. And we also have number four, which is automation, automating taxes to reduce stress, to reduce cost of operations. We have some testing viewpoints as follow. We have external and internal testing, and then over and covert testing. This is when we do it with without informing your staff the overt and covert testing. So it's not things that you do without the awareness of the what of the uh, uh, of the security security uh, security personnel. The overt and covert testing, which is you do it without informing anyone in the organization. And then the external and internal testing also, you have to test the do internal, which is you give access to the you allow the tester to, to have access to your network, and the in the and the I mean the external will not give access to the uh to the tester. So if we test it from outside the network to test how secure the what the infrastructure, the organization infrastructure is, and the internal, which is you allow him to what test because of what internal threat, insider threat also. So that's for that. Hope you understand the overt and covert testing. Now audits, which is regular and published. Evaluation of design and operational efficiency across security, privacy, and availability using control statement is done under certified control and audit standard. Now we have transparency is offered by sharing the result of privacy and also compliance audits. Principles of auditing. Number one, importance and generic audit principles like independent analysis with respect to present criteria and more specific principles aimed at ISMS audit. And we also have ISMS auditors is all audit related matters should be independent of the auditee in both attitude and appearance. So the audit should be independent of the area or activity being evaluated to permit objective completion of the audit assignment. And the number third, which is information security, is an ever-changing field, is changing risk, control, and environment. Hence, auditors should maintain knowledge of the state of the art and the enterprise situations. Management of audit program. Planning, controlling, and supervising an ISMS audit is what management of an audit program consists of. So these are the key aspects of management as follow. Number one, planning and scoping advice of every ISMS audit. Within the overall audit program, like the idea of combining wide but shallow audits with more narrow but deeper audit on concerned area, which is you choose a particular angle area and you go deeper in that. So that's for that. And then number two, ISMS audit at organization with multiple presence, where comparison between the ISMS in operation within individual business units can assist sharing and promoting best practice. We also have number three, which emphasize the value of ISO certificates to gain confidence. The auditing business partner advised it may not be necessary to have the audit work done. And number four, which is internal program development for the auditing ISMS. Now let's talk about the reflect business objective in information security activities. As Mike as Mike Paul says, business is a business to do business. So very often, upper management and board perceive information security as any other support task, which is essential but not the core of the business. All security elements need to be strategically what aligned. As to align with what with the business. It's the business operation that brings in the profit, that brings in the money for maintenance of the security of the business, which is you have to focus on the business and the security design, security control has to what strategically align with the business operations. Now, let's talk about the integrated compliance framework. Now, this is the integrated compliance framework map. Information processing environment activities as strict procedure. They have to adhere with ISO 2701 for information security, and BS 10012 for data protection, and ISO 20000 for service delivery. All these policy are what are there. We just have to pick it and we'll start using it. And then we have the integrated approach head in business continuity and disaster recovery planning for a company. Now let's look at this map and discuss about it. How to pick the industrial standard framework. From there, you go to policy A, policy B, and policy C, which depends when we have the ISO 27 and 1 for the information security and the data protections, and we also have the service delivery, which is the ISO 20000. All of them are here. This is policy A, policy B, and policy C. We have standard A1, standard A2, and standard A3, which goes to policy A procedures, which give us the what procedures, and this is the defined requirements, and this is the implemented what implement requirements here. These are the standard we need to implement this policy, and this is the security side again for the for us to achieve this goal. Security what services for the business organization. The policy B also we have standard B1, B2, and B3 to create this policy B procedure also for the this one is for the policy B is for the data protections, is for the data protection. All the policy, all the standards have to be combined together to generate a particular policy here that will protect the data we have. And policy C, which is for the service delivery. The service delivery, check all the standards that are the standard C1, C2, and C3 to generate, to develop a policy procedures for what security services for the organization, and this is a major success. We'll be able to so that we can guarantee what success in the business operation. Because if any of these, the information security, the policy A, there's problem with that part, it will affect the whole business operation. All the data has been stolen or be encrypted by a ransomware attack or be destroyed. There will not be business operations. Or maybe the service delivery is what is disrupted. There will not be what because even though if the client comes, you will not be able to deliver. You will not be able to deliver a quality services. Now let's look at the pyramid angle. An integrated security management includes risk management. You have to what? Manage the risk, and policy management also. Also have compliance management and business continuity management. That is what security integrated security management entails. This is all we have: risk management, policy management, compliance management, and business continuity management. These are the four angles we have to watch, we have to look into when we are talking of security management integration. Now, measuring success, which is compliance, have to be reported and measured for assessment by the upper management for a reassessment of the environment, and also tracking what needs to be focused according to the mission can be done by using a tight system of metric or measurement, which we are going to use this pyramid. Number one, balance scorecard, and also have number two, program or service level measure. You have to check the program or the kind of service level measure. You have to be up to date, like have to be the minimum acceptable industrial standard on. And they also have problem identification measure. Every challenges threat have to be identified and measured. If you are in savings, if the risk is still in a what is still acceptable, is still in a minimum acceptable stage. Any question? Now we have compliance with IT security standard. So data safety can be guaranteed to start customer and trading partner by adopting security standard. So some IT security standard that enterprise comply to are NIST 853, which is for security control. This policy, the NIST is for what? NIST 853 is for security control of the organization infrastructure software. And so if you look into this policy, you see. And number two, have EU privacy directive for EU and non-EU customer data. This is mainly used in the EU for Privacy protections. We also have payment card industry data security standard, which is the PCI DSS. This is used in the what ATM card industry, Mastercard, Valve, Visa, and other what, payment card we have. I will also have safe harbor certification. Safe what? Safe harbor certifications, and we also have authority to operate as a moderate risk weather information system by Department of Homeland Security. So these are the what standard security standard, IT security standard that we have for which we have to compliance with. And then we also have compliance with IT security. The step to information security compliance as follows. The step. Number one, a clear security minimum is set by information security policy and standard to strengthen a company's security posture. If you notice my YouTube say minimum security standard, that's the minimum. And this is set by the what? By by the information security policies and standard. It's already there. The framework is already there. It's for you to check it and make sure you meet the minimum requirement security standard. I also have number two, which is to master of what is called the big four has to be achieved, which are user involvement, perimeter defense, system certification, and auditing. Those are the big four that you have to what, master your organization. Who are the users? You have to make sure that those areas are of standard. Perimeter defenses, like this building, the perimeter, the security that are there has to be what, and the system certification. The system has to be what, this system certification has to be a kind of software and system that is what certified by the what policy or by the information security standard, and then auditing all the what, and also auditing them. And number three, costs for security effort will go out of control if these four safeguards are not kept in mind. These four angles we just mentioned here, the big four, which is the user, perimeter defenses, system certifications, and auditing, software certifications, and the auditing. If all these requirements are not met, the security control, security effort, the cost everything, we what, we lose focus, and we be out of control. And so hackers can what, take advantage of this. And so with so much stress for information security, see companies prefer speed and capacity over privacy of data. Company prefer what, speed and capacity over privacy of data, and stressing over importance of security is still a challenge. So these are the challenges we are facing here. No, company want their delivering their services to be fast as possible and make sure that they have the capacity to deliver the services a particular client is what a particular like need, right? So these are the challenges we face in the organization. So this is the end of today's class. So nice. Any questions so far?